Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bath Mat Reviews, where today we are going to be talking about Transformers Studio Series Galvatron. Well, specifically Age of Extinction Galvatron. If you've watched my Megatron design, any of my Studio Series Megatron reviews, you will know, not a fan of this design. I don't like what they did with Galvatron. I think it looks rather ugly, but I wanted to complete my collection of Megatron movie figures, and for what it's worth, this is a pretty good figure. I like it as much as I can for the design, because I do like this figure, and that's saying something, because I went in expecting kind of not to like this figure. But the transformation, the posability, and yeah, that kind of stuff is very good. So even though that I'm not a big fan of the design, it is the best version of this figure that you can get for a reasonable price. The best version is specifically the Unique Toys third-party Galvatron, which I do have and is fantastic. If you are only able to ever get if you only ever want to get one version of a figure, I would by far suggest that one. But if you have a budget, this guy is definitely good, and I like him more than any other version of Galvatron. I should rephrase that. Any other version of the toy of this design that has been officially released, and I did not like the original Age of Extinction one. It just wasn't that good. It was way too much of a shell former. This guy does a pretty good job of not being a shell former, despite having an essentially impossible design to translate into a toy for a reasonable price, but the mad lads at Hasbro did it, and that's pretty cool. And before I forget, box review. So here's the box, Age of Extinction. You got Galvatron there, and boy, that is an ugly design. I do like the chest. Like, I don't know. I really don't like this design, but also I can see the vision. I just don't think, yeah, I don't know. Studio Series Galvatron. It's the 90th one or something. Transformers. There's Galvatron. There's Galvatron, 32 steps. It's a Freightliner, officially licensed. That's cool. You got the bottom, you got the side. You have the display case, the box thing. That's the one that the figure comes in, but the actual one is right here. There we go. And, yeah, it's that scene in, I don't remember what part of China it took. It's the final battle in, I think it was China, right? Yeah, it was China. For Age of Extinction, I don't remember specifically where. But, yeah, cool. I really don't care about these. Anyway, let's talk about the figure, and more specifically, its accessories. So, one, it comes with his blaster arm cannon thing, and yep, it's fine. Another thing, he does have a little bit of molded in detail to show the arm blades that he has, but overall not really anything special. And if you open up his chest, you can, wow, this is actually kind of tight, you can store his missile thing. It only comes with one, unfortunately, considering he had two in the movie. And you can put that on his arm like this. I don't know if this is intentional, but you can do it. And so if you want it in robot mode for him to use missiles, you can. And that's cool, I guess. So, yeah. And the gun, here it is. It slots over the hand. It looks all right, but overall, And it's also kind of hard to get off, but you can manage. And, yeah, now let's talk about well, let's first do a close-up, and then we'll talk about articulation. So here's his face, as ugly as ever. You have his little hole that can drill up swords, and then you got the legs, and then you got the back. And I will say, I am quite impressed with the minimal amount of kibble for how impossible the transformation should be. Like, while it's not perfect, it did a very good job of hiding everything away. And now let's get to articulation. So, head on a ball joint. And also a little bit of a hinge, but that's really for transformation. So I would just stick with the ball joint. Then you have full 360, you have out that far, you have a bicep swivel, you have a double bend at the elbow. You can use this transformation joint to do a butterfly joint, this transformation hinge you can use it as a butterfly joint, but it doesn't look the most natural, but if you need to, you can. Then you have a waist rotation. You have forward that far, back that far, out that far. Kind of not as far as I would like, but, you know, is what it is. You have no thigh. Okay, you have a thigh swivel up here, but not one where it normally is, like right there due to transformation. Then you have over 90 degrees of bend, and then at the foot you have an ankle pivot, and then I guess you can kind of move stuff, but that's more so for transformation. So pretty much an ankle pivot. So overall, surprisingly good articulation for, well, how this guy has to exist and transform. So yeah, overall, surprisingly decent. Again, I did not go in expecting, I did not buy this figure expecting it to be one that I liked as much as I did, but I like it a lot more than I expected to, and that makes me happy. So, now let's get to size comparisons. So, here he is with my previous review, Optimus Prime, and these guys look pretty good together, you know? They, yeah, they look like they can fight. Only once in a movie. And then he runs away like a coward at the end of the movie because he had to fight Lockdown. Then, let's bring in the Prime Unit of Measurement. And, yeah, that looks... I mean, they're two different art styles entirely. But, poses... Oh, it stands all right. And here he is with Batman. So, now let's get to transformation, because that's where I really enjoy this figure. The transformation is really good. And, yeah, so let's get to that. So first, let's just bend the legs at this hinge right here. Also, you could use this as an ab crunch, I suppose. But yeah, you can unpeg that there, bring that like that, then bring the chest down, then take the back, unpeg that, bring all of this up, and then bring that down, like so. Sorry about the sudden cut. One of the things of filming this at the day is there's a lot more noise. But anyway, so where was I? Oh, yes. Take the head, bring that down, peg that in, take the arms, bring it back like this, and bring that in, same thing on this side, and then bring the arms inward like that. And they don't really peg in, they just kind of rest there. Then take this part, flip that up, bring this down, and peg that in. And just, if everything's lined up, it should just peg in really nice and easily. Like, there we go. Then, take this, bend it at the ab crunch again, and bring this down like so. Then, go to the feet, take this part at the back here, bring this out slightly so that it like pegs in right there, but just bring that out, and then lift this up, like so. Same thing on this side. Just bring that all up and out. Then take the feet, bring it down, bring out these side panels, take the foot, and splay it open, and bring that up, and angle that forward. And same thing on this side, just open up the foot, and whoop, this needs to be moved out this way, and then bring that forward. Then you can just bring this all in and get that all lined up and peg that in. Now it's weird. It looks like it should peg in one way and then it doesn't. It looks like this should this should go here or around that area, but it really it slots in right there and below it instead of where it looks like you might think. And then take this side, bring it to there, and just kind of bring this in. Then you need to push this part forward and get that behind there. Then lock that in to the side. And then line this up and just slot that in. And once it's locked in, it's locked in. And of course my light dies. Hold on. But yeah, it's not total darkness when I'm recording this, so that works. Boop. There we go. And the light is back. So then, bring this in, lock, and lock that there. Bring this flap down to help fill in some of that space. Take the wheel, bring that forward, It's on a hinge here so that it actually lowers down when it's like this and then raises up when it's like that, which I think is kind of cool. Then take this bit, plug that in, and then take these side thingies and bring them like that. And you are, get this lined up, and you are done. And, sorry if you can hear the dogs barking in the background. I don't know if you can or not, but again, I'm filming this at daytime. So, and you are done. And it looks pretty good overall. Not perfect, but for the impossible transformation that it has to have to get it actually looking good, for this price, this is a pretty dang good version of this figure. Now, as far as storage goes, you have a couple parts. So the gun can be taken, and it's a little bit hard to get it in there, but you're supposed to just slot it down from between the legs and peg that in. But I greatly struggle to do that, so I just kind of bring it up, bring this in, like just shove that through, and then bring it down, and then peg that in. Just because, then just adjust everything till it's lined up correctly. Just because it's really hard to, for me specifically, I don't know about anybody doing this, to just get that lined up and slot that in there. So that's what I do, and it works all right. And then, if you want, you can have the missiles, or one of the missiles, because it didn't come with two, on the side like it is in the movie, which is cool. And when you are not using it, you can take this, and there is a slot right there that goes into that tab right there. And you can just put that like that, bring that down, and everything is on there and hidden away as best as possible. Now, again, the biggest problem is the feet being there, but again, at this price point, there's not much you can do. But other than the feet, overall, yeah, I like this guy. I was very pleasantly surprised with what you get for this price point. And while not perfect, definitely quite good. So I guess I would recommend this guy, especially if you like this design of Galvatron or are like me and want to have each Studio Series version of Megatron. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below what characters I should review, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Again, kind of taking a break from buying figures right now because I don't have much money. So if I have them, I'll get to them sooner than if I don't. But if I don't have it, I will still like it, say, yep, I'll get to this as soon as I can, and save it so that I'll remember. And yeah, that's about it. So, bye. Whoosh.